Oh, hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Andrew and I'm the curator here at the Agatha's Diamond Library of Stories. Now today, here in this tiny corner of the World Wide Web, we're going to share with you a short story about a different kind of web, a spider's web. Now, I've called this piece The Saga of the Spider, but it could equally be called Dusty Web Has a Dinner Date. In case you're wondering, mums and dads, this piece is probably going to be enjoyed most by children of primary school age, say up to about the age of 10. But if you're not sure, by all means, have a watch, listen, and make up your own minds, and hopefully then share it with your children. If you're ready, then here we go. The spider was a lonely fellow, spinning all day long. He worked hard on his wondrous web, all silver, sticky and strong. A dinner party I think I'll have, he pondered, near the end. Some colourful invitations I'll write, and to my neighbours send. The moth, the fly, and Longlegs too, I'll count as friends of mine. Together we'll dine by candlelight, and I'll drink on blood-red wine. And thus he sent his invitations out, but no one did respond. The moth, the fly, and Longlegs too, of the spider they were not fond. His hospitality was legendary, for none could long endure the subtle effects of his company. Of this they were all sure. They each had family tales to tell of spider in times past, who visited in friendship, and whose visit had been their last. The spider was determined, though, and out went his mournful cry. Oh come, unto my parlour," he called over to the fly. "I have no time," the fly replied, "to visit you today." "Tomorrow then, at 5:30, said Spider. "What now have you to say?" "I'll consider it," he called back, and buzzed off into the night. Spider smiled gleefully. At last, everything will be all right. At 5:30, the fly did return, but with Longlegs and the moth. "Oh, spider, spider, hiding from the light," they all began to scoff. "There'll be no dinner on this night. Your company we don't require." Then Spider in anger declared, "I curse you to the fire! I invite you to my wondrous palace to share the pleasure of my weave. You decline the beds and food prepared. This I just don't believe." "Our families all were lost to you," the trio all replied. Quoth Spider, "They found with me the afterlife," and heavily he sighed. "They shared my wine and fell asleep. I wrapped each in a soft cocoon. They stayed warm then in eternal sleep, but left me all too soon." The spider continued on. "It's unfair to cast all the blame on me." His eyes glinted evilly. "I'm certain you must all agree." Now Spider had, the night before, spun extra threads around, and in a sudden draught of breeze, Fly and Longlegs were tightly bound. "I see you've changed your minds," shouted Spider in relief. "Come hither now with me, and share in my afterlife belief." Both Longlegs and Fly sobbed with fright and absolute despair. "You fiend, you filthy trickster! We knew all along. This really isn't fair. We never should have listened to the moth and deny you with the truth. You're wicked, cold and calculating. It's no wonder you're friendless and aloof. But I have you now in my company forever and all time. And who's to tell of these deeds, my wonderfully perfect crime? Spider looked and stared at the moth, his question in the air. Moth, go now and spare yourself. You cannot save us now, even if you dare, called Fly and Longlegs on the web, struggling for their lives, pain lancing through their frail wings and slicing them like knives. The moth he fled away crying, consumed he was with blame. Carelessly he flew in sadness and became engulfed in candle flame. Spider sang and danced then upon his sticky strand. This really couldn't have been better, even if I'd planned. The table's laid with crystal, and my finest silver is all out. A feast that lies before me now. Of this there is no doubt. Spider went to fetch his guests, so he could start his dinner. Come along, my merry friends, and join your host, the sinner. He declared with delight, it's time to take a nap, and sent them off to sleep. And so he carried on regardless of the threat, which closer now began to creep. For even as his grand designs were about to be fulfilled, that threat threw back the curtains, allowing light to be spilled. The light, it rushed in and filled all corners of the room. It invaded everywhere. No escape was there for the gloom. With it came the mighty duster, Spider's greatest enemy of old. Crushing webs and silver strands, his doom was now foretold. Back and forth the duster went, clearing all from its path. Spider watched as it drew near, and in despair began to laugh. Oh, most ill-fortuned is my fate to bring you here to me. Your timing is most unjust, he cried out angrily. He saw Fly and Longlegs wiped from his grasp, and amidst all his tears, witnessed the sad collapse of his home, confirming all of his worst fears. He reflected sadly then, whilst curled up upon the floor, such effort wasted must be wrong. So now you know why the spider stays such a lonely fellow, just spinning all day long. So that's it. Thank you very much for dropping by to watch. I hope you enjoyed the Saga of the Spider, or Dusty Web has a dinner date. And I hope too that I can look forward to you joining me here on the Agatha's Diamond channel at some point in the future to enjoy more stories, poems and adventures. Take care, and we'll see you next time.